Hey guys, my name's Dan. I'm a veterinarian, and I don't think I usually give veterinary care a hard time on this channel. I usually am pretty, happy about it and positive, and I share about like medical stuff on here. But my goodness, guys, like emergency medicine in the veterinary world has gotten just it's bonkers. It's just out of control with how expensive it is. I know a lot of my colleagues are gonna say, like, "Look at human medicine. Look how much cheaper it is. Look how affordable it is compared to human medicine." And we go in and we do a major abdominal exploratory surgery, and the price is just way smaller than human medicine. And that is true, but human medicine is built around insurance, and it's allowed to be affordable and possible through insurance. The other day, guys, I had this dog and it had a GI perf, and it was really, really sad and really disappointing. But anyway, it went in, and if we would have, it was like at closing on Friday. We're not there on Saturday, Sunday. So unfortunately, I can't give it a blood transfusion. I can't go in and stabilize it and then do abdominal exploratory and possibly fix the problem. So we have to refer it out. And I referred out to one of the bigger emergency clinics, and right out of the gate, it's going to be $5,000 for a blood transfusion. Okay. And then if they're going to go to surgery, it'd be another $5,000. So, bare minimum, this owner is in $10,000 just in the first, like, probably 8 to 12 hours, 10,000 bucks. Then, the dog has to recover, and it has meds and it has all kinds of stuff. So I was talking to this emergency vet, and I was like, "So you're seeing we're in 10,000 already. So is that going to be like probably closer to 15 out the door?" And she's like, "Yeah, it's going to be about 15,000 out the door." And I was like, "Holy cow. Holy cow." Now, I get it. Like, they're emergency medicine. They're up on the weekends. Like, they do a lot, and their prices should be higher than me, general practitioner. But for me, like, to do an exploratory and go in and do a blood transfusion and stabilize this dog, I mean, it's expensive. Like, expensive for us is maybe like, 3,000 bucks. Like, that's a lot of money. And that's a big procedure and a big problem this dog has. But going from the general practitioner level, that's going to be about $3,000, to going to the emergency clinic, which is going to be about $15,000. I feel like there's becoming this giant chasm and disconnect between what a general practitioner can do, like myself, and then what the emergency room does. Because, guys, no joke, when I first started practicing, I used to think, yeah, like, put some money aside every month, and that way, if you have a major issue, you can just pay for it out of pocket. I was like, what, guys, like 13 years ago now when I first started practicing. Nowadays, yeah, if you do that, you can definitely afford like a service from me. Like, if you have a major issue, a catastrophic issue, I can handle that for you, and that would definitely pay the bill. But man, if you want to go to an emergency room and get care overnight, it's expensive. So what a lot of my clients do now, and this is pretty wild, is they'll go in and they'll see the doctor, and their walk-in fee will be like 200, 300 bucks, something huge like that. And the veterinarian will look over, and then they'll give some recommendations. And a lot of people now are being like, "Hey, like, how serious is this? What is it?" And the vet might say like, "Oh yeah, this isn't too bad. You can wait till the morning." So what happens a lot in my world is I'll get these charts that come through in the morning, and it'll say, "When did this emergency clinic declined all services?" The vet says, "I think this is the problem." And then we call that client in, and they come in, and everything the veterinary hospital, the emergency one, recommended, we then do because it's appropriate for the dog safety. But we do it at a significantly reduced price because we're general practitioners. We're not emergency medicine. And it's affordable. It's becoming more expensive, unfortunately, with how things are becoming more expensive in the world. But at least it's affordable. So, guys, what I've been telling people anymore is, like, I know pet insurance is not perfect. It is far from perfect. I do believe, though, if you do have anything pet insurance wise, if you do decide to grab it, it should be something that is for catastrophic problems. Like you you have a dog and let's say they need a leg amputation, a blood transfusion, abdominal surgery, like these big things overnight, maybe a gum toxicity from xylitol, like these big things that are incredibly expensive that you couldn't just open your wallet up and just pay for. And if we visualize pet insurance as something like that, where we're like hedging our bets, like literally we are maybe doing like we're doing premiums monthly that are low, high deductibles. And that way, if we do have a problem, it costs a little bit of money, but it's possible. Because where I live, we got a veg opening up, and I think veg is cool, but they got a veg opening up, a veterinary emergency group. We have a VCA, and we also have an urgent pet care, and they all do fine work. Um, I could do the same work, but I'm not an emergency vet. That's not the season of life I'm in. I'm not going to work overnights and do those crazy shifts. So I guess it kind of wraps it up, guys. Like you need to make sure that if your doggy does get sick in the nighttime hours, it is important to go into the emergency clinics, but understand, like you are your pet's best advocate, and it's going to be expensive when you walk into these places. And the number one thing they always tell us in veterinary school is the the physical exam is the most important part. So if a veterinarian comes in, they do a physical exam, and they should take their time. They shouldn't be rushed. Take their time, do a full physical. And then you as a pet parent should be able to be like, hey, how serious is this? Hey, can I wait till morning? Do I need to do something? Now, if they think it's really serious, then maybe you should be like, okay, I can afford this and this. I can't afford that. Is this a good plan? And working with the veterinarian is a really good idea. I know some people come back to me and like, Dan, I felt bullied. I felt like they told me to do this, and then they did it, and it was really expensive, and I don't know what they did, and they just hand me a stack of papers. Make sure you know why your doggy's there, what they're getting done, why they're getting it done, and then what you're paying for. Because, like I said, um, being a good steward of your finances and then being a good advocate for your doggy or your kitty or your pet in general is huge. But also, it's knowing when you can actually step back or away from the situation and be like, you know what, we're going to finish this over here later. And that could be all the difference in your doggy feeling better or financially saving yourself from a situation that is not good. Um, I got one more, and this just kind of like, I don't know, it just kind of piggybacks on it. But I had a pastor friend, really nice guy, and he was at one of these emergency clinics, and they were giving him all these options of things to do for something called a fibrous cartilage emboli. The dog threw a clot in its back, and he called me, and I told him, just come on over. Just come on over, we'll have a look. And I mean, they unplugged everything from that dog, and they didn't do the fancy MRI that they wanted to do, and they came over to me. And the good news is it went really well, and we fixed the problem at my level. But one thing I told him is before he came over is I am a general practitioner. I do really good work. I know what I'm doing, and it's going to be different here. Like, we're going to do everything possible, but we don't have all the fancy stuff, all the fancy machines, all the fancy imaging. And if you want that, then you should stay where you are. Don't leave that emergency clinic, to stay where you are. But if you would like something different, still great medicine, but something different, you can come over and see me. They came over and saw me, and what I do is, we address the problem. Things that need to be fixed right now, we fix those things. Helping the dog get comfortable, getting walking again, emptying the bladder, stuff like that. And then we really put a timetable on almost all this stuff. Like, if we're not getting better in small amounts daily, we need to start making decisions about what's the best for the doggy. Because sometimes we push too hard. I don't push enough, but sometimes we push too hard, and we got to make sure we're doing the best thing for our doggies and for our families and our kitties, cat too. But like, I just think of dogs in the moment. Okay, I have to go to work, guys. You guys all have a great day. You guys take care, and best of luck out there.